Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. In today's video, I will be setting up December 2020 in my happy junk journal, and if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. So first and foremost, this first part of the intro is going to be a bit chatty, so you may want to get a hot beverage and get comfortable. Also, if you hear any outside noises, I apologize. Both my dad and the neighbors are putting up lights, and so yeah, I have no control over that, nor can I anticipate when the noises will happen, but we'll just try to get through it. And then the video itself may be a bit lengthy because I'm setting up quite a few pages, but I will be referencing last month's setup, so we're not reinventing anything, we're just resetting things up for the new month. So if you watched the video that I did on yesterday, which was November 28th, I mentioned in that video that I didn't really have a direction. So I loaded that late Friday night, and then when I got up on Saturday and I was reading the comments, I checked Instagram. I'm not on there very often, but there were two noteworthy things in this group chat that I belong to. Now, I'm a lurker. I don't really ever comment, but I commented on two separate things. One was from Andy Nija, who had pointed out there's some new Happy Planner sticker books that I was not aware of, and the jewel tone boxes and the new floral mega sticker book. Wow. No, honestly, I'm not going to get them, but if I were going to get anything, it'd be those two. And then Tamika had referenced a video from Amanda Rach Lee, who is this huge bullet journaler here on YouTube, and she said she kind of wanted to see what I would do with that video. And I had actually started watching the Amanda Rach Lee video for her December setup, I think the day she had loaded it to YouTube. But the first part of it, she's talking about her new planner, and it sounded like a commercial, and I was like, oh no, I'm not here for it. So I clicked out, which, you know, sounds horrible, but you know, I didn't want to listen to the commercial, and I wasn't that interested. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me see what Tamika's talking about. And I just basically scrolled past the commercial of the first 2 or 3 minutes of the video, and the actual setup was amazing. She did do some doodles, which she normally does in her bullet journal, but it was different. It was actually giving me Caitlin Corner vibes, meshed with Amanda Rach Lee vibes, and I loved it, and it helped solidify what I wanted to do for my own happy junk journal, bullet journal, journal, planner. I mean, I struggle with what to call it because it's kind of everything and kind of nothing all at the same time, but it did give me some ideas of what I wanted to do, hence the mess. So I used this because, of course, I made my own paper, and the paper that I made was this right here. I actually wanted something that had no dots, no lines, no anything. And then the only other option I had to this was copy paper, and I thought that would be a little bit too light. So I've had this for probably 3 years or more, and because of the size of the paper, I was actually able to get 3 sheets. So I have 6 in total. I don't know if that's too many or not enough, but I will see. But that's what I used, and I didn't necessarily need watercolor paper, but other than copy paper, that was really all I had in which the size I could make for the Skinny Classic. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, when Amanda was setting up her spread, she relied on craft paper, which I do not have, but I do have this Walgreens bag and then some other paper bags, so I'm going to be using that. I'm going to use what I have, but I also wanted to include tinges of blue and some vintage elements. I don't necessarily want it to look like last month, but I do love that vintage element. And so these 2 paper pads I had had in my stack, the mixed media and the vintage treasures. I'm pretty sure I picked these up from Amazon. I picked them up last year, so if they still have them, I'll link them. If not, you might be able to also find these in your local Walmart, because Walmart does have this brand, or at least I know that it did in the beginning of the year. I have not browsed in a Walmart for months, so I don't actually know what they still have. And so I selected some papers from here, and let me show you that. And these are the papers that I chose. Now, they are really thin papers, and for this purpose, I think that's going to work beautifully. Now, what I'd like to do for my bullets, or my December spread, I should say, is I really like the thought of blues and browns. I live in Hawaii, so although a winter theme sounds interesting, it actually isn't my reality. So I think these colors look really nice, and they kind of could give you a winter vibe, but they also give a very much of a beach vibe. And so I like that, and that coupled with the vintage, I think just looks really dynamic. So these sheets right here were from those two paper pads. I've shown this in some other things, at least this specific paper. This is paper that my sister had purchased, and I don't know if you can see, but it's sort of collaged, and you've got elements of postage, but this is a palm tree right here, and then you've got writing on the back of it. So I pulled some sheets of this. I don't know why she had so many, but she has, I mean, there's still so many of these that I have. And then again, more of the vintage looking, that's super vintage, more writing on the page, and then this one right here, which again, the entire paper stack is this paper. I don't know why she bought so many of the same thing, but I'm going to use it because I love the look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and pare down the paper to very minimal, because I actually don't want it to be too cluttered, and so I definitely want to use these blue tones here, and I think they look really good. And then I do have a mild liner, and I did do a test, and it's this one right here, and I think that looks really good. So I'm definitely going to use those 3 sheets. This one has elements of both cream and the blue, and I think that looks really nice together. And then either this one, or I really like this one, but I've realized I don't want pictures in my book. I don't want people staring back at me. Now, I watch a lot of junk journal videos and memory keeping videos and all those kind, and I know a lot of people put pictures in. For some reason, that just kind of freaks me out. So if I use this paper, I will be cutting out elements of it, but I'm not going to be using these pictures because I don't want to turn a page and see someone looking at me. That's just me. I don't know why. I remember when I was younger, like teenage years, and I would buy Team Beat and I would put Kiefer Sutherland and Keanu Reeves up on my wall. I know whenever I undressed, I had to turn my back because I didn't want to look at them looking at me. So this has been a lifelong weirdness. But I think I'm gonna keep it down to these, which is already quite a bit, and it seems super busy right now, but I'm only going to be using a very little bit of it, but hopefully enough to bring in some color. So let me put this away. And then I do have this here. I featured this in the Journal on a Budget video. I still like to get back to it, but I chose this because I wanted some grid paper or some contrasting paper to this, because if you notice, the watercolor paper that I have is sort of a very off-white. It's almost a cream, so this will definitely stand out against it. Now, I believe she used an A5. I don't remember what the size was, and this is much smaller by way of width, so I need to be very aware that if I want this to be both decorative and functional, I can't have too much on the page because I don't have that much real estate. All right, so let me see if I can get organized. And I think just to make these more manageable, I'm going to cut them in half. I'm hoping at least some of this is in frame. I just need smaller pieces of paper to deal with. And then I picked out some stickers. This is a washi sampler that my friend Andy had sent me, so I think I'm going to use this brown one here. This, I marked it on the back. So this one is from the Year to Shine sticker book, and then these three are from this one, the Detailed Florals. Amanda did some hand drawing in hers. I don't know that I'm going to be doing that, so I'm just going to rely on some of my products. And I'm going to be taking out November to use as a template for the layouts. And so that's this right here. Now I did already put the divider. It is Sunday the 29th, like I mentioned, so I will be doing this tomorrow or on Tuesday. But this is the divider between the 2 months, and then I already did get this paper here, which we've used the entire month, and folded up 5 weeks worth just to get it in here. All of the extra paper that I had cut from last month, I actually put in something else just to store it, because I will be using it. I seem to really love the vintage vibe that's going on, so I mean, it's already cut, why not use it? So I'm going to put this to the side as well. So what we're going to be doing is setting up our cover page, and that's first and foremost. And let me cut off some strips of this. It's kind of noisy. Of all the different kinds of papers that I have in my stash, craft paper is not one of them. I'll be right back. Okay, so these are the side pieces. And she had used this as presents, or parcels, as she called it. I want to say she's Canadian, so that's why she says it that way. I've never heard someone call a present a parcel. Maybe that's just me though. So let at least start off the same way. And she crumpled it to give a texture to it. And I'm going to do a bit of layering. On here. Now, if it seems rather imprecise, it really is. And it's not something you're going to typically see in Happy Planner World. Happy Planner World is all about being efficient and productive, and not gonna lie, about hustle culture, about getting the most productivity out of your day. And then you've got the other side of it, which is, I guess, junk journaling, where it is about playing with your stuff and figuring things out, and it takes long, and part of the joy is the process. So I feel like I need to apologize to you guys because I don't know what I'm doing, which is not new, but it's even more so because I don't even have stickers to go with. I'm putting things down on a page and hoping for the best. Okay. And having a very tiny space does not help. Okay, so I'm going to put that down. And you're going to see a lot of that. So they're exactly the same on both sides, and yet I will flip it around because that's what I'm used to. And you can still write on it even though it has texture. And we'll need to put our tab on, but we'll do that in a little bit. And I think we'll put a sticker down. And I do want something long. Now these don't match these, and they shouldn't. They're not of the same sticker book. But because they're both transparent and of the same tone, I'm gonna use it, and I think it should be okay. So we're going to put that there. And it's starting to come up. And it's not that big of a deal, but it is bothering me a little. So I'm using my Aqua Tombow liquid glue, and really it's just because that's what's next to me. I'm going to use my Sigma or my Pigma Micron. It's Sakura Pigma Micron 05. And turn it into a present like she did. And this style definitely tends or lends itself to being imprecise. And I have to tell you, I really thought about doing a music-only video where I just do my thing and just put on some music, because if you don't make videos, I can tell you that talking and doing and thinking and trying to create and figure things out is just it's frustrating. And I know why people enjoy, at least at the very least, of voiceovers, if you know the content creator can't talk while doing, is because then you feel like you're part of the process, and you also feel like, you know, you're just two people sitting down together and you're planning together, because you might also be planning or putting together your spread or doing something at the same time. While when you have someone who does something like this and does just music, you actually have to pay attention. And I know that sounds weird, but sometimes I just listen and then I clock in every few minutes just to see the progression. But when it's only music, then you definitely have to be more aware of what's going on. And so something like this is even more stressful than you would think. And it's on me. I mean, I can totally choose to do that and just, you know, deal. But if you see me, or if you hear me stumbling over my words or just feeling frustrated, I want to have fun, and it's hard to have fun when you're trying to think and convey. And I don't know if any of that makes sense. That's my favorite washi, nearly done. And I really am loving the blues, and I I'm hoping you guys are in frame. If it sounds like I'm near tears, it's because I'm tired and I'm frustrated, but I want to do this. I've been wanting to do this for a few hours now, but my morning was busy and I need to kumbaya and do this. I need to kumbaya. All right, guys, well, I had to go radio silent, and to be honest, that might be a thing. I might just turn on the music, even though I know you guys prefer, or many of you prefer, talk-throughs, because it does make you feel like you're with the person, but the person you're with right now wants to play and doesn't know that she can talk through the process. So let me just do that, just to save my sanity. I'm going to turn on some music. I will just go ahead and do my spreads, and then when I'm done, hopefully I'll be in a better mental space. Okay, guys, so radio silence is over for now. Definitely in a better headspace, so I really apologize, and I thank all of you for your patience. And we're just going to do a really simple setup for the week. It's really pretty on the roll, but it's really light on the page. And my bad scissors. And I didn't use this one. Let's layer this up. Okay, and I'm just going to continue with the setup that I had previously. It seems to work for me. All right, guys, well, you know what? I think I'm going to call it. So I'm going to do a flip through of the progress I've done so far. To be honest, it is giving me more modern vibes than it is vintage. And I'm okay with that. It's just, I don't know why this was so difficult for me today. I am tired. I'm a little less tired now that I've had a bit of a cry. And yeah, I've had a bit of a cry. But I don't know why even the thought of what I wanted to do was so difficult. Thank you to Tamika. I'm sorry, I don't think I executed this well. Thank you to Amanda. She's a huge channel. I don't know why she'd watch this video, but I did love the inspiration of her planner setup. And so this is my cover page for 2020 for December. This is where I just have, I like having a monthly calendar in it, and I don't want to write it. So that was from that sticker sheet set that I bought for my Stology, and there were so many of them, so I might as well use it. The color isn't quite the same tone, but I think it works. This is where I'm doing my buddy read with Miss Andy, and it doesn't bother me that it says today. Basically, every week we're going to shoot for 5 chapters in the order of the Phoenix. If we make it, awesome. If we don't, awesome. It's really just about communicating and just staying in touch with each other. For this one, this is my thought of the day. I did realize last month that I have sometimes words of the day and thoughts of the day, and so this just sort of encompasses that for me. And I did try to bring elements when I remembered of the presents, and I think this one might be my favorite. I do love the touches of blue and this coppery gold. It's not a rose gold. I think it's more of a coppery or bronze. That one is lost. It definitely would have been better with a flower that pops out, but that's fine. And then this is the page I am the least happy with, and it might be better once I have writing on the page. I think when I do write on it, I will write in a white pen just to have it pop. I wanted to have the present aspect on here because I didn't want it to have it on this one, but it just, I think my execution was bad. I thought I could do some collaging with these stickers and the washi, and yeah, I'm not happy with it, but I'm not so unhappy with it that I'm going to cover it up. I mean, it's supposed to be functional. And this is my what worked and what didn't with the planner setup, and I'm definitely going to write down the lack of, what was it? Lack of inspiration or jumping off piece. I'm not exactly sure what the problem was, but it has been problematic. These are my thoughts into the month. Luckily, I don't write that in today. That is going to be my thoughts as of either tomorrow night, which is Monday, or Tuesday when I get home from work. And then this will be what I do to ring in the new year. Now, this one is slightly different from the last month in that I had the video ideas, but I also had a gratitude page. page. And I think what I might want to do is in maybe week 2 or week 3, set up a page to reflect upon just the year of 2020 and all that's going on with that. But I didn't necessarily want that here. So this is just going to be my video ideas page, and that is more than enough space for me. I actually like how that looks as well. Loving the touch of blue and the brown everywhere. And then for the week that we're going to go into tomorrow, I did set up the tracker for my meals because I want to pretend I'm a Korean vlogger, as well as my horoscope. And then I'm not doing anything for this. I'm going to give myself the grace to either decorate as I go along or just have it a blank page. But I will put down the stickers that Christy sent me, Christy Marie Designs, and then the other sticker, this one right here, as well as the dailies, are from Luxe Clever Crafts. They are linked below. I'll go ahead and put the date there as well. And I know this is December, but I am going to include November 30th. I will have November 30th in multiple places, but honestly, that's fine. It keeps everything cohesive because I start my meal tracker thing in the same way. Yeah, this was a rough video, guys. I am so sorry. I'd love to know what your thoughts are other than I'd love to know what your thoughts are. I'm not going to quantify it. You can blast me if you need to. I completely understand. But I'd love to know what you think of just the colors and the setup. Honestly, there are a few pages here where you might get a Christmas vibe. But I'm not getting Christmas vibe generally for this, and I don't know that I will. And it's not that I don't enjoy Christmas. I do. I think I might have that in some other planners, and I definitely wanted to try something out. Plus, I love craft paper, even if it is a paper bag. I just love the color, and the blues and the browns just are really speaking to me right now. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me for now. And as always, aloha.